morning, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is David Okon. I'm talking about employment in the United Kingdom. Actually, I'm talking about work in the United Kingdom. Employment is part of work. If you have been following the video I've recorded, and also if you have watched this video and the rest of the video, thank you so much for your participation. If you are a new person watching this material, subscribe to this YouTube channel, click like, click notification bell, leaving a comment, watching the video and sharing with family and friends. Thank you for your support. If you have already subscribed, if you have been in this program before, I'm so grateful. Be an ambassador for this material and work in the United Kingdom or also in another country is extremely important because it is the primary source of income in this country and also in another country. I've already mentioned previously elsewhere and also on this program that the fundamentals in importance about work is that it accounts for income. It also accounts towards the matter of the cost of living, and especially the cost of living crisis, which is global. Therefore, whatever situation arising in the United Kingdom is similar to situations in its similarity or difference in other countries. This is primarily because of globalization and capitalism involves privatizing the economy, and where because of privatization, the economies, the global economies and governments are closing down. This is a central information surrounding my working on this program, and it is extremely important for people, British people, and the people across the globe to take responsibilities for their lives, because what I have discovered is the British people and the people around the world need to be informed about government and politics, and also about government policies, how it behaves, and also other factors of society, including the legal system, the condition of technology, and also the environment. These are important factors of how you take account to understand what is happening around your family, around your community, and also in the world. And we live in an age of information. Knowledge is strength and power, and people should take responsibility. Government of the UK repeatedly, including the Conservative, especially the Conservative Party, but also the the Labour Party and the Liberal Democrats, and all the rest of the political party in England, Wales, and Scotland, also in Northern Ireland, are all saying the same thing. And in the UK, in Europe, and across the globe, there is an harmonizing of politics and society, where there is a shutting down of the state, a shutting down of the government, where individuals now have to take responsibility for their lives, including on matters of work, in welfare, healthcare, national security, global security, cyber security, all the elements of security, and every factor of society. Individuals now are required to take control over their lives. The government is shutting down, the state is shutting down, selling the country to someone who has money. If you have money, if you are a multimillionaire and a multimillionaire, you can buy a country like Britain to own it. Already, if you do a study of who owns land in Britain, you probably won't find the information easily, because these are owned by private individuals who are super rich. And in the United Kingdom, if you own land, leave a comment below and let me know how many acres of land you own. In a continent like Africa, individuals or family or clans still own land, either individually or collectively as a group. But see, this ownership of land in Africa or in similar areas, say in Asia, where people still grow their own food, this is a temporary occurrence. Ultimately, the state will take all the land, including the ones in Africa, and sell it to individuals who have wealth to own it, because it is with wealth, it is with land and wealth that power is accessed by individuals who are super rich and with which to rule the world. So government will be privatized, which it's already being privatized. Every time you hear the word privatization, you need to know that the government is selling off the economy. And privatization means privatization of the country, privatization of the state, and the government. There are private governments now in banks, in insurance, in organization, in hospitality, in transportation, in healthcare systems, in educational system, housing, and you name them. Even politics is being privatized because you have boardroom politics, which takes place in big corporations. You know, corporate bedroom politics. Politics as we know it will be shutting down in the next 50 to 100 years. The sign will be clearer. Now there is a lot of opacity, not understanding what is really happening. This is something I mentioned every time I talk about specific information for people to understand why this program is actually operational, and for people to understand what is to come. If you find it difficult now in the UK to access healthcare, it is because the government has sold of the National Health Service to big corporations. Big corporations will shut it down because if people do not have money from coming from work or other source of income, then big or small or medium businesses will shut down automatically, because that is how they are designed to be. You cannot open a big business or a small or medium business if it doesn't make money. You cannot make money if the people of a country do not have income. The benefit system is shutting down. I've been talking about accessing finance in the United Kingdom in the other videos, and if you haven't followed it, if you haven't watched it, watch it. Leave a comment below, let me know what you're thinking. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed to support it, and also clicking like, clicking notification bell, sharing with family and friends if you watch it. If you don't watch it, that is okay, but subscribing is free, it takes seconds. And this subscription is not supposed to be, not to be confused with joining to become members. My channel is too small to be allowed to have membership yet, but we are work in progress. We are making progress, and the bigger the channel becomes, you will know if you are interested in joining to become a member. Now I don't have the capacity to be membered, but you can subscribe because subscription is free. Membership you pay. If you watching the other videos, YouTube channels, you will find that there is charge for membership. Membership is not on this channel yet. If we are become eligible for membership registration, then I will let you know. For now, I'm only asking you to subscribe. Subscription is free. And thank you so much everyone who have been supporting, leaving comment, subscribing, and clicking notification bell, clicking like, to actually support the material, to the platform, the program. Leaving a comment is so important, whether it is favorable or not favorable. As long as there is respect, I'm fine with that. And because I am here to learn, and this is a work in progress, I'm talking about some really complicated projects, politics, policy, laws, and this is an area I have chosen to kickstart my channel. This channel started in December 2022. It was created in 2012, but there was no work. I didn't do any work on the channel. I started working on the channel in 2022. Thank you very much everybody who have been part of this family, this special family. Continue watching, stay tuned. Thank you so much. In a second, I'm going to speak specifically about self-employment. in the United Kingdom, I already made a prelude, or rather an overview of what self-employment is as a factor of work. There is employment, there is self-employment, and there is also entrepreneurship, there is investment. Investment relates to investment, and entrepreneurship is a type of work, but at a higher level, which involve multimillionaires and multi-billionaires. Self-employment is similar to employment as a status of work. Employment status per se. This is a factor of work which I've already introduced in the opening, in the other videos. If you're watching this, watch the rest of the video. I'm so appreciative. We are growing. We are gaining momentum. If you bear with us, if there is an idea how we can improve our content, and also how to, how to invest in the system to attract more viewership, because the more the merrier, the bigger the better for a channel or for a platform like this, for us to make progress. And therefore, stay tuned, continue watching. Thank you so much.
Some see the original, mighty the god, the magical radical. Hey, representing my magical. Young Jose, come million. Wacha, that lifta. You know, teach me, you can do the make go far. That wacha, you know, damage me, you can do the make wacha. That lifta. You know, teach me, you can do the make go far. That lifta. You know, damage me, you can do. Come to the camera, there. Come on, there, we are there for the bed. We have a day, you're my baby. Every day I call you, my joy, you're my treasure. Baby, got no machina, yo. If I be quackering, yo. But it's about some cola. Baby, got the machina. Baby, got no quara. You must say bandana. You must say bandana. You must say bandana. Baby, got no tema, come a quackara. Whatever, come a quackara. Whatever, come a put it on my baby.
So, stay tuned. Continue watching. Thank you very much. Let us look at work in the United Kingdom. Let us look at employment. Specifically today, we're looking at self-employment. What it is, what self-employment is, and also what you do in a situation of if you're self-employed, and also probably if you are a supporter of self-employment in some professional capacity, in one way or the other. If you are an advisor on work, on self-employment, if you are in a situation where you need to really do a check in terms of employment status, this is the kind of thing I'll be talking about briefly this evening. Stay tuned, continue watching. So it's a case of looking whether somebody, or somebody you're dealing with, somebody you're talking to, or somebody talking to you, if you are trying to establish the status of a person or someone who might or might not be employed as of current, normally you have to know your current situation. Sometimes you think you're doing one thing, but you might not be doing one thing at all, especially in terms of work. Because there are a lot of complexity. You may think you're employed, or you might not be employed. You may think you're self-employed, but you might not be self-employed at all. So it is a case of, checking the current situation, whether you're employed or not, or if someone else is dealing with you, a professional, they have to check whether you are currently employed or not. So you can also try to determine who can set up in business, and the eligibility criteria. If you are living in the United Kingdom, you may also want to check your immigration status, if you are allowed to work or set up in business in the United Kingdom, because you can assume that you can do business in the United Kingdom, whereas you haven't checked your immigration status. You wouldn't know for sure certain. If you're in a situation like this, double check to find out. And this is the kind of thing we'll be looking at this morning rather. Thank you so much. Welcome to Saturday morning here in the United Kingdom. today we officially have entered spring, summer. Summer is very warm. It's a very comforting, natural, nature-provided atmosphere, environment. It is when the United Kingdom become warmer. We are getting away from winter. Winter is extremely violent. It's very, very cold in winter, and it's also dark. There is hardly any sunshine during winter. So after winter, you get spring. We have come to the end of the spring. Spring is when things begin to spring back into life, literally. Flowers begin to spring into life. Hibernated animals come into life, coming back to life. Trees begin to grow leaves. Animals begin to graze freely. Life become, the world become alive because of spring. Spring is a beautiful period. It is mild. Today we are at the beginning of summer. Summer in the next 2-3 months is going to be really intensely hot. And sometimes some people like very hot weather. I particularly like hot weather. If I'm to choose, I would prefer hot weather to cold weather. But it's going to be extreme in summer in terms of heat. And some people actually die in the United Kingdom, also around the world. They die of heat stroke. And so it is also, the goodness, there is good, but extreme weathers are normally either good or not very good. So, like today, welcome to summer in the United Kingdom, beginning today. Today, I think, is the 1st of June. So, welcome to June as well. It's a new month. Thank you so much. So, you can also check if you can start a business. You are in the process of starting a business. As such, you can see if you are running a business already, or you are in the process of planning to run a business, starting a business, and then you run. If you start a business, then you start run. If you start it, then you start running. Then the business may also end. So you can start a business, you can run it, or you can end a business. You need to check your status. If you are in such a situation, if somebody is advising you, they will be able to check whether or not you are starting a business, whether you are running a business, whether you are ending a business. You also check to find out if you are entitled to certain benefits, or if you are entitled to certain tax credits, or if you are self-employed, and this may be applicable. And stay tuned, and you can normally check for information online. You can go to gov.uk. You can go to your public website of your citizen advice. You can also go to Shelter, get some information from organizations like that in the United Kingdom. In terms of employment, you can go to ACOS. I must mention ACOS, which is a body for early conciliation, providing early conciliation service in terms of employment dispute. So ACOS provide good information on employment and on work generally. So looking at if you need further support, go online, like I just said. So the government provides free support and advice services for small businesses in England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, which are likely to be the main sources of information and advice for clients and advisors dealing with self-employment and business problems. I've already mentioned in the opening, in the other videos as well, that the United Kingdom is composed of England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. There are 3 countries forming the United Kingdom. Great Britain include England, Wales, and Scotland. If you add Northern Ireland to these 3 regions, to Great Britain, you get the United Kingdom. That's the difference between the United Kingdom and Great Britain. Great Britain, as I repeat, these are some of the information you may be interested in if you are a tourist, because some people may ask, where are you going? I'm going to Great Britain. Great Britain, where is it? It's England, Wales, and Scotland. I'm going to the UK. I may also go to Northern Ireland because there are 4 regions are forming the UK. England is the biggest region where London is. I live in London, so we are probably the biggest. I don't know in what way. So stay tuned, continue watching. And the document aims to signpost the advisor to relevant pages on the business support services website for starting a business, running a business, and ending a business, as well as other information resources on self-employment. So many clients will need specialist help with business problems. So when you talk about specialist help, you will be lucky to find a specialist help easily. Specialist help can be lawyers, can be other people like maybe accountant probably, or other financial advisors or business advisors consult in terms of consultancy. You may find them for free, or mostly you might not be able to access free support. And that is the difference, because self-employed people are actually small businesses, mainly sometimes medium businesses as well. And this is actually a policy question for the government, the UK government, to consider how to support small and medium business, because the information may be there, but they are fairly complicated. And even if you need advisors, they lack resources, and they are restructuring. Most of them are closing down their services because of lack of resources. The government is not funding social businesses, and they are not also funding public businesses in the statutory sense of the word, like in the local authority, because sometimes government department would have been in a position to give advice in terms of employment, financing, or any other related organization, but these are failing because of failure of funding. I've been talking a lot about this. That is why I'm now trying to kind of like concentrate on certain specific, to try and also correlate what I am saying now to what I said broadly, and also sometimes in a more polemical way, without providing any concrete evidence as such. So let us look at what self-employment is. A self-employed person works for themselves or on their own account as a freelance or the owner of a business. This includes a person working in a partnership, but does not include the director of a limited company, who is treated in the same way as an employee rather than as a self-employed person, even if in one one-person company. That means some companies are run by only one person. A self-employed person may also be an employer. So if you're self-employed, you can also be employing other people, in other words. So self-employment is distinguishable from employment because it involves a contract for services rather than a contract for service. A contract of service. So you talk about the difference between a contract for services rather than a contract of service, which is self-employment, as it is distinguished from employment, because self-employment involves a contract for services rather than a contract of service. Service is another word for employment. In other words, if you're employed, if you are working, you're providing a service. You are a service provider. So your contract is to provide service as somebody who is employed. But if you're self-employed, and then your work, the kind of contract you deal with is a contract of service. Is a contract. Is a contract which involves a contract for service. A contract for service is because you are providing service in terms of products, maybe goods and services. You sign a contract to maybe sell a product, maybe to buy a product, which is different from being a service provider. You are actually you provide a service in you know good and service in a different context. When you sign contract, you sign contract with customers who are trying to buy from you or selling. You're also trying to sell things to people. That is the difference between contract for services rather than a contract of service. So contract for service, to repeat the point, is when you design you provide service for which you sign contract. But if you are employed, if you are working for somebody, you are actually a service. Because you and service are almost the same thing, because your job is a type of service. So that's why your contract is called a contract of service as compared and contrasted with the contract for service. So my apologies, I have to repeat this point over and again. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Some see the original, mighty the god, the magical radical. Hey, representing my magical. Young Jose, come million. Lamego wacha, gal defta. Kina teach me kenyo lamego kopa. Gal wacha, kina dame chini kenyo lamego wacha. Gal defta, kina teach me kenyo lamego kopa. Gal defta, kina dame chini kenyo.
Gal toje kamele mele, deya, eja kaman deya, we are there for the bed. We have a day, you're my baby. Every day I call you, my door, you're my treasure. Baby, got no machina, yo, baby, quackana, but it's over to Koda, baby, got the machina, baby, got your quara. You want to bandana, you must say bandana, you must say bandana. Baby, got no tema, come a quackana, whatever, put it on my baby.
Thank you so much. So we are looking at self-employment in the United Kingdom as a type of work which involves people working for themselves and also maybe recruiting somebody else to work with, but it doesn't include many other things. So employment and self-employment are treated differently for employment law and for tax and national services, national insurance purposes. So a number of criteria are used to determine whether a person is employed or self-employed. Certain factors suggest that an employment contract exists and others suggest self-employment. However, the determination of whether someone is employed or self-employed may not always be the same for the employment law purposes on the one hand and on tax and national insurance purposes on the other. Leave a comment below and let me know what you're thinking about this matter, about this situation. You need more to know about self-employment as a topic, as a concept. You can access to find out online to get more information on employment status and find out how to check employment status per se. You can also look at guidelines on employment status for tax and national insurance purposes, which is available on HMRC, East Majesty Revenue and Customs website, which is a tax office, hmrc.gov.uk, which is online. There are organizations dealing with matters of employment or self-employment. If you're self-employed and you're needing help, you can go online and find out. So you can be in a situation to check aspects of self-employment which will benefit from more expert advice. So if you're dealing with the problem of self-employment, you can gain more from expert advice other than from, say, for example, generalist advisors who may or may not be able to in a position to give you advice. Normally, they are there to give support, to give advice. So you can also look at other aspects of work, and which may help to do referral, services can be referred to other businesses for free business advice and support services. There are situations also where professionals may find it helpful to use information provided by one of the following organizations on their website guide to guide the client through the government-funded free business advice and support services, such as some of this information are more related to the professionals and also people who may be wanting to get help independently online or in one way or the other, such as in England, Business Link, and also in Wales, business.wales.gov UK, in Scotland, Business Gateway, and in Northern Ireland. So you could say advisors may be able to use website to one of the services in the previous paragraph to find answers to the client, and rather the client, where appropriate, to the relevant website to work through the various. This is more to do with this is people who are providing support rather than people who are getting help. But it's a general information which is important for people to understand, to know, to investigate, to try to figure out, to find out. So you can get support and services which can be provided on the phone. It can also be, in some cases, face-to-face advice through a network of local advisors. So you can ask relevant questions, such as whether or not the client is currently employed. These are some of the things you can check to find out if somebody is employed and their employer have suggested they become self-employed while doing the same job. The employer may be trying to avoid their responsibilities as an employer. There are situations where somebody may be actually employed, but some scrupulous, often maybe, because that's why you need legal protection in situation of work, because people are not perfect. Some employers are okay, but legal safeguarding is needed. Sometimes people get confused because these things are very complicated, and employer can be complicated about can be confused about the status of their employee. They may be treating an employee as a self-employed person, but such a self-employed person by allegation may be actually employed. So it pays if you take responsibility for your situation, or if you are an advisor helping somebody to try and understand how to identify a problem. So the employer may be trying to avoid their responsibility as an employer also. Whether the client is an employee or self-employed depends on a number of factors. For example, the degree of control the client has over their work. So we'll talk about control. So the fact that they may be called self-employed by their employer does not necessarily mean that they are a self-employed necessarily, like I tried to explain. You can find more information about the definition of self-employment for tax and national insurance purposes, which can be found on HMRC, His Majesty's Revenue and Customs website, which is online on gov.uk, hmrc.gov.uk. Like I said previously, this information is on the government website. So you can look more about how to check if someone is self-employed or whether they're employed, because it matters. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for your support. So you can also figure out who can set up a business in the United Kingdom in terms of immigration status and other factors. So what you do in practice, people who have permission to be in the United Kingdom temporarily, such as visitors, or people who have permission to be here for a specific purpose, such as students, will not usually be allowed to become self-employed. These are for people, immigration condition. If your client isn't allowed, if you are someone who is not allowed to be self-employed in the United Kingdom, then you might be able to get a visa which allows you to become self-employed. You can check if you are in a position where you can become self-employed. You can do that online. If you are planning to start a business, information and advice about starting a business can be found on the following pages of the free business support websites. These are online: England, gov.uk, like I said, in Wales, business.wales.gov.uk, at business.wales.gov.uk, in Scotland, Business Gateway at bgateway.gov.uk in Northern Ireland, and so on and so forth. If you visit this website, you will find them if you are in the United Kingdom. If you watch the video starting at the beginning, I actually tried to explain what pertain to the United Kingdom might be, or what it is actually. So consideration before starting, including preparing a business plan, finding out. So topics covered under starting up a business would include considerations before starting, including preparing a business plan. So planning is very important in life and also in business generally. So finding and managing money. So money is also important. You have to know where money is. Where are you going to find money if you're going to start a business? Where is the money coming from? Figure that out before even considering, and also learning how to manage money. I mean, sometimes it's possible to get money from a friend, family, or from strangers, well-wishers, or from organizations. You can get grants or you can get loan. But also, if you cannot manage that, or you cannot provide evidence of managing money, it's going to be difficult for you to get even money. I mean, if I have money to lend to somebody, I have to find out that they know how to manage. There's evidence that they are able to manage money, because as soon as I give them money, if they don't know how to manage it, it's going to be lost. Some of the things you consider is choosing the right legal structure for the business. There are small, medium, and large businesses. Mainly, when they talk of the legal structure, they talk about size and also the nature of the business in relation to the kind of business. You consider premises. Where is the business going to be, including health and safety in consideration, which is a legal requirement. Where you are operating, is it safe or is it not safe? So you need to figure out what you are able, or what you might or might not be able to do in terms of planning, in terms of also checking what is needed and also what might not be needed. And if you comment below if you have done business before, if you are you can identify with this element of information which is there to prepare someone who is planning to do a small or medium business, or whatever business they would like to do as self-employed people. And you also have to understand something about taxes, payroll, and returns. Returns is what you get from your business in terms of money, in terms of resources, and for which you may have to pay taxes. Payroll is the money you pay to people who work for you also. So these are actually costs, outgoings, and probably costs to what will cost you to before you make a profit. So you also check how to employ people for the first time, because if your business is new, then figure out how you're going to employ people to work for you if you need to. In Scotland, information has been produced about deemed contracts for water and sewerage services. It explains that if you move premises or take on new premises, the business will be deemed to be in a contract with the existing supplier until you negotiate with a new supplier. There is a guide to deemed contracts on the Water Industry Commission Scotland website. Information and advice can also be obtained by telephoning in the appropriate business support services. If you are running a business, information and advice about various issues where a client is likely to encounter when running a business can be found by the following link on the home page of the government-funded business support website as follows: in England, in Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, in their respective gov.uk. So topics covered on the website in previous paragraph, including finance and grants, taxes and payroll and employing people, health and safety on premises, environmental and efficiency, research and developing business ideas, products and services, IT and doing business, online sales and marketing, international trade, growing a business, buying and selling a business, detailed guidance for particular business sectors such as transport, farming, food and drink, manufacturing and construction. There is useful information about what Scottish Water can provide for businesses in Scotland in the leaflet New Business and the Non-Domestic Water Market are produced by Customer Futures Unit. In the information also and advice can also be obtained by telephoning the appropriate business support services. If you're going to end the business and you wish to sell the business or to close it down because it is difficult to continue with, or retire from the business, or be forced to close it down by creditors, these can apply when you are ending businesses. So in England, the gov.uk website has guidance on ending a business at www.gov.uk. It might be useful for someone like yourself to work through the closing business steps at gov.uk for the issues that need to be considered. If you are in Wales, in the UK, the business websites they are being available online, giving guidance on ending a business. And like I referred to in Scotland, also you go to the Business Gateway website and also providing guidance on ending a business, as you would find in Scotland. In Northern Ireland, you can also go to nibusinessinfo.co.uk, which has a guidance on ending businesses. And information and advice can also be obtained by telephoning the appropriate business support service, looking at tax and benefits, such as tax credit, for example, for self-employed people, help for unemployed people moving into self-employment. A person who wants to start a business may be able to claim new enterprise allowance. These are grants. It can also be loan. It's not specified here. You can find out more about enterprise grants or enterprise allowance, either loan or credit is not specified, but if you want to know more, you can go online. There are also other benefits and tax credit for self-employed, where they can claim claiming the same benefit and tax credit as employed clients, provided they meet the condition for entitlement for each credit benefit, because tax credit can be for employed or self-employed. You can do a checklist to help identify which benefit and tax credit apply for which type of individual and their household. For a self-employed person, there may be a need to check their paid sufficient Class 2 or national insurance contribution to be eligible for some benefits. In my opinion, not professionally, national insurance contribution is a type of tax. There's a table on the HM revenue, HMRC, the tax office of the United Kingdom, HMRC, His Majesty Revenue and Customs website as such, which shows what business class 1, 2, and 3 national insurance contribution count towards. You can check more on entitlement, benefits, and tax credit. If you look at my video on financing, I will talk briefly about benefit and tax credit. So if you are interested, leave a comment below so that I might or might not be able to do another video specifically on tax credit or something like that, because the information is online anyway. You can always read it for yourself. Thank you so much for your support. So you may be in a situation where you need information on the Benefit Paying Authority, Department of Work and Pension. I also spoke at length on the Department of Work and Pension. So the local authority also, you can look at the local authority like sometimes known as the council or the tax offices, HM Revenue and Customs, of any relevant changes of circumstances while claiming benefit. So we discussed elsewhere when circumstance changes for purposes of claiming benefit. This is because some of these benefits are means tested. So to say, if you are claiming means tested benefits such as universal credit, you may have to show the Department of Work and Pension and local authority evidence of your income and business record. These are specifically for means testing, but also for non-means testing, you need to change to inform on your change of circumstances, because sometimes you may, if your circumstances have changed, you may lose the eligibility criteria, credential in which you might or might not be able to continue to get, say, for example, tax credit or similar benefit. So you might be in a position where you will need to be aware of your self-employment situation, which may also have an impact on benefit you claim for yourself or for your partner, if any. So you can look for more information online to get more understanding of this. So for such subject relevant to self-employment, such as where clients are covered, can be for self-employment clients or people who are self-employed can have get information in one place or another. You can look for business debts. You can look for small business debt. You can look for income tax. You can look for things like income tax and self-employment. You can look at paying tax on the self-employment, more about national insurance contribution, and about small earnings, exception limit for national insurance, VAT, and all these other factors. So you're looking more about what traders must register for VAT, further information and advice, as always, on gov.uk in England and in the other regions in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, respectively. You can get all this information online, as I have discussed. These are some of the information or which you may be able to access different type of website with resources you may find very useful. Like I've said, they are online. You can check. It's a good idea to be informed. This is a privilege. It's an opportunity which we enjoy currently in terms of accessing information. So we are looking at other organizations which can help small businesses. A number of other organizations can provide advice to certain people. And stay tuned, continue watching. Thank you so much. Thank you, stay tuned. So let's look at the other organizations necessarily who may be able to help self-employment. We are talking about employment, self-employment in the United Kingdom as part of work and also as part of employment status. Leave a comment below if you know a thing or two, if you don't know a thing or two about employment or self-employment in the United Kingdom. And I've already said elsewhere that what happened in the United Kingdom may also happen elsewhere. So it's a case of really paying attention to what happened in the UK. UK is a leading global economy, and employment in the United Kingdom at law or policy or other factors may be similar to even employment and laws in Africa or other continents of the world. So it is of interest one way or the other, even if you don't live in the United Kingdom, to know. And who knows, maybe you want also to work and travel abroad, maybe in Europe, maybe in America, or somewhere. If you're in Africa, if you are maybe in America, or vice versa, you are maybe in Asia wanting to come to the UK, or if you're in the United Kingdom, you also want to maybe go abroad and maybe work in Africa, maybe do something in Africa in terms of work. Who knows? Being aware of conditions and also situations pertaining to self-employment in one country may help in another country, especially if you're in the United Kingdom. United Kingdom is central to what happens around the world. So it is really important. If you have information and you are actually living in the United Kingdom and working in the United Kingdom, it helps you if you travel, or if you want to work abroad, or if you want to work in the United Kingdom. It's about rights. It's about what you can or cannot get. If you don't know, then you may need to access the help of professionals who may advise you in one way or the other. If you watch the rest of the video, watch also watching this, watch the rest of the videos, because I've been mentioning it over and again. Stay tuned, continue watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to this channel. And if you haven't liked, click like and notification bell. You click notification bell, you'll be able to get more video, notified about more videos. So it's a good practice. If you like this material, if you don't like it, somebody else might. You can be a good Samaritan and support this channel and video and the content for one reason or another. Leave a comment below if you like this material. If you don't, also leave a comment. Be positive as much as you can, and also be as helpful as you can. And more importantly, respect is probably very important for me and for you as well as a viewer. And we are a human family. We live or fall by whether or not we are respectful. Stay tuned, continue watching. So we have a number of other organizations which can provide advice to clients interested in starting a business, or offer guidance to business owners on a wide variety of problems. For example, testing out whether the business is viable, preparing business plans when approaching sources of finance and finding premises. I'll say this in the opening. Some is the really important information, pieces of information in terms of self-employment. More and more people now are more and more interested in self-employment. Thank you so much. Stay tuned, continue watching. So we are looking more about organizations which can help. Or most of these, if not all of them, are online, which is a modern day development. If you're going to do something with your life, do something about your life in relation to what you can or cannot get in terms of employment, in terms of self-employment. Stay tuned, continue watching. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Continue watching. We are still looking at self-employment in the United Kingdom. We are trying to look at who can help when you need help, if you are intending to be self-employed, or if you are already self-employed, and you can consider a solicitor or a lawyer. When I talk of solicitor in the United Kingdom, I'm talking about a type of lawyer, because there are two types of licenses practicing lawyers. One is solicitor, another is barrister. If you are in a country where you use solicitor or barrister, leave a comment below. Some people use the word counsel or advocate. It's the same thing. And you can also use a tax advisor or accountant. You can use banks. These are institutions. You can use chambers of commerce. You can access gov.uk, information for businesses and self-employed in England only. You can go to organizations such as business.wales, gov.uk, in Scotland, and also in Wales, local enterprise agencies in England, Wales, and Scotland, business in the community. These are some of the organizations: the Local Authority, Economic Development Unit, Rural Development Council in Northern Ireland, Homes and Communities Agencies, National Federation of Small Businesses, Business Franchise Association, and so on and so forth. The Prince Trust, Prime Business Club, and so on and so forth. Stay tuned, continue watching. Thank you so much. So if you decide to use a solicitor, if you need to use a solicitor, then it is important to find one who is experienced in dealing with small businesses. Although a solicitor may be willing to take on your situation or to deal with your situation, you may have a little experience. Those solicitors may have a little experience of commercial law, and they may only be used to dealing with large companies. So in such a situation, finding the right kind of solicitor with the right experience who deal with the small businesses is extremely important. And you have to pay attention to this. You could also find names of suitable firms from different websites in England and Wales and Northern Ireland. If you go online to find solicitors, stay tuned. Thank you. So in England, Wales, and Scotland, the Local Authority Economic Development Unit or small business section can be contacted. Other local organizations for small businesses can also be contacted. You can also use word of mouth and personal recommendation from other small traders by telephone, or visiting local firms and asking what experience they have, how much they charge, and what services they offer. So it's a case of networking here and there. In England and Wales, the Law Society has information on setting up a business, including how to find a solicitor on their website. So you can find this. Stay tuned, continue watching. So solicitors can help small businesses in the following ways: giving advice about trading status, for example, and advantages and disadvantages of setting up a business partnership, for example, and drawing up agreements to start a partnership or a limited company, and drawing up and checking or interpreting other legal documents such as leases, and also drawing up, checking, or interpreting franchise agreements. It is important that the solicitor is experienced in this type of work. So it's a case of checking, giving advice about employing staff, how you might or might not be able to pay to employ staff, and these are the kind of support, and giving advice about commercial contracts, providing help in recovering money owed as in debt, whether you are in debt with somebody else in debt with you, and also giving advice about stopping trading. Like we said before, if you are going to stop trading, sometimes for one reason or another, you need a solicitor to get advice and guidance, and advising in a situation when you wish to buy an existing business as well. So you can be getting this kind of help before going to see a solicitor. You should be in a position to work out exactly why you are going there and what information you or help you may need to get. So you should also find out the likely cost and fee structure of using a solicitor, as I said already. Stay tuned, continue watching. Thank you so much. You can also go online to find out more about consulting a solicitor in England and in Wales. You can also find out more about consulting a solicitor in Scotland. And in addition, you can also find out how to get help in terms of using a tax advisor or an accountant. So you may need to use a tax advisor or an accountant, and it is important to find one who is experienced in dealing with small businesses per se, because your business is more or less likely, like I said previously, is going to be small, a small business. It is generally advisable to use an advisor who belongs to a recognized professional body. So you may find details in one place or another about suitable advisors. You can also find the names of appropriate practitioners from chambers of commerce, for example, in the UK, in England, the local office business link in England and Wales, the local enterprise agency, or in Scotland, regional offices of Scotland Enterprises, and many others. Stay tuned. Thank you so much. So you can always find information from other local organizations for small businesses. You can also use a service of word of mouth and personal recommendation from other small traders, telephoning or visiting local firms, asking what experience they may have or how much they may charge for the service, for whatever service they are able to provide service under. So you can also look for professional body for specialist tax advisors and old accountants, or an organization providing specialist tax advice. These are the kind of thing you are looking for. So if you need more information, you can go online to look for specialist sources of specialist tax and accounting advice. So tax advisors And accountants can help small businesses in the following ways: giving advice about trading status and also trading status, for example, in the advantages and disadvantages of setting up a partnership, giving advice about taxation for the business and for the client necessarily. Stay tuned, continue watching, and also therefore and setting up partnership, whether it is advantageous or otherwise, and giving advice about taxation for the business and for the client also. The accountant will normally deal with direct with the HMRC, giving advice about VAT, value-added tax, and preparing quarterly return to HMRC, like we said previously. Also looking at how to deal with pay as you earn, national insurance contribution of any employee who might or might not be working for you, dealing with with your national insurance contributions, providing help with producing budgets, financial plans, and annual accounts. General accountants can do this for you. Auditing accounts of limited companies, accountants only, and sending them the companies to the company house. There are certain services only accountants are allowed to do bookkeeping, although there may be cheaper ways of doing this than using a professionally qualified advisor. Before going to see the advisor, you should be in a situation to work out exactly why you are going and what information you need, and you may need from where you're going. So you should be also able to find out the likely cost and the fee structure of using the professional advisor. Let's look at bank. So the services offered by banks vary greatly, and so do the fees they charge. Some banks have special teams who handle business accounts, and some other specialist deals. Some offer special deals to new businesses. So they may also have useful information for startup businesses. So information about choosing and running a business account can be found on the websites of the government's support services for businesses. So these are the business and self-employment pages of gov.uk in England and Wales, and in other parts of the UK. Stay tuned, continue watching. So you can get guidance including, for example, how to shop around for business banking services using financial comparison websites, and how to find a bank with a particular ethical and religious standing. Looking at chambers of commerce in the United Kingdom for businesses. Chamber of Commerce is a local network of businesses. It can provide information, advice, and training to businesses in this area. Most give free advice to members, but charge the services for services to non-members. Some chambers of commerce serve particular ethnical group or ethnical minorities. Contact details for chambers of commerce can be found in the British Chambers of Commerce, a website in the United Kingdom, in British Chambers.org.uk. These can be found variously on the several websites if you are diligent, if you're genuinely interested. So you can go general to gov.uk, like I said, information for businesses and the self-employed in England only, and also in other areas. Like I've said before, the gov.uk website contains a range of detailed information for people starting up, running or doing a business. The general contact details are governed UK, businesses and self-employed England, and also there are respective websites in Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. Stay tuned, continue watching. Let us look at Business Scotland. This website provides online resources for businesses, Scottish businesses to find the information they need from government and the wider public sector. You can access it through the mygov.scot website, Business Gateway Scotland only. Business Gateway provides access to publicly funded business support in Scotland. It gives free, impartial advice to people starting or growing their businesses, providing online support and information. It also runs a fully funded program of workshops and events. The contact details are including Business Gateway in Scotland, and stay tuned, continue watching. So thank you so much for watching this material. We are going to stop here. Next time we are going to talk about employment contract as part of the work infrastructure, and we are talking more fair detail. And subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed, and click notification bell, click like, leave a comment below. See you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.
MVC record.
Trump, Jesus,